In this lecture, we are going to talk about creating student profiles and developing inclusive support plans. This material applies to the RSE2 activity we did in seminar today. I want to take some time to go through the process of creating these plans. We first met Aiden about 3 weeks ago. Aiden has been diagnosed with ADHD. We had looked at some of his learning characteristics. Now we are going to analyze what might be possible supports for him. In the previous lecture, we introduced the idea of purpose and place and how this applies to schools. Let's look at the 3 school purposes: personal, social, and intellectual development. The usual sources of information about students we gather from their CUME file, reports, meetings with parents, teachers, administrators, and so on. This information is the basis of your inclusive support plan. We learned that for Aiden, he learns best through hands-on activities and experiences. Sitting and listening is the least effective approach. He likes to be doing things. He rarely stays on task for more than 3 minutes. For him, after 3 minutes or so, he starts to get distracted and disengages. He talks excessively and often interrupts others. He often forgets to bring his homework back to school. He also forgets to bring it home. He's disorganized and often can't find what he's looking for. He's constantly misplacing things, even things he uses all the time, like his books, pencils, coat, and backpack. He has weak organizational skills and planning skills. He hasn't grasped the concept that doing things requires a sequence of steps. He is apt to do the steps out of what would seem a logical order. He squirms at his desk. He has lots of energy. He is friendly, helpful, and has a great sense of humor. He's very popular with his peers and plays on many school sports teams. Aiden is the kind of kid who goes off in the wrong direction when transitioning from class to class or activity to activity. So now that we have gathered all this information, we don't need a huge long list of his learning characteristics. Let's just keep it basic and look at the 8 or 10 we have listed. Now we'll move on to build an inclusive support profile. Let's begin by analyzing Aiden's personal purpose in school. This deals with a sense of belonging. Let's consider this more carefully. One of his teachers decided that a support could be asking classmates to help him remember the rules and where he should be going. As I mentioned before, to me, this support comes from a very deficit model perspective. It presumes he will not be able to remember the rules. It presumes he will not be able to find where to go on his own. To me, this creates a culture of dependency. And what is Aiden learning about his ability to give back? We are seeking a personal purpose that benefits Aiden in a positive way. He needs to be able to give back so he feels some self-esteem. Aiden needs clear and consistent classroom rules. Well, that benefits everyone. This is a positive goal. Aiden needs a lot of repetition in order to learn the classroom rules and expectations. That benefits everyone else as well. So this is positive too. What kind of social purpose does Aiden feel about school? Aiden certainly has a social purpose in school due to his interests in sports. He can teach and play sports with others. This gives him a sense of pride and place. He has a purpose. Another social purpose is for him to talk about things he likes within a set time limit. Then the next student can have their time. It requires the students to think about what they want to say and to say it within the allotted time. Aiden will feel a sense of social purpose by working together with others on activities and projects. This can help with relationships. It is one of the ways he likes to learn best. He is contributing, which provides a sense of social purpose. Now let's consider Aiden's intellectual purposes. We know Aiden learns best through hands-on activities and experiences. Sitting at his desk listening to the teacher will put him to sleep. I had a student with ADHD. He was a wonderful student. I loved him to bits. But any time I addressed the class for more than 5 minutes, he was out like a light. I always had to tap him on the shoulder to wake him up. For Aiden, support such as a graphic organizer for planning and organizing may help him to figure out what to do. Provide Aiden opportunities to show what he has learned through pictures, actions, and words. Once you decide on the possible supports, then you pull it all together in a document. This slide shows the strategies to support Aiden's personal purposes at school. There's one strategy that's not mentioned here that I'd like to suggest could be another option. Aiden's desk could be situated near the teacher so that she can cue or support Aiden to manage his behaviors. So the supports discussed earlier under personal purpose are outlined here. The second row on the form outlines the supports discussed earlier regarding Aiden's social purpose. There's one additional one here about regulation tools. Aiden can use fidgets to keep his hands occupied while listening to others. It will help him focus. Lastly, intellectual purpose. How a student learns with other people and learns the content being taught. We have a list here for Aiden. One item mentions breaking down the steps of some activities or tasks into chunks. By limiting instructions to smaller chunks versus the entire list of steps, it will help him to remember what to do. We can give him frequent mental breaks, more than recess and lunchtime. Just give him time to rest. There we have it. The plan can be shared with parents, other teachers, and the administration. This would be put in the CUME file as it outlines your plan. Ta-da! Questions? Thank you for listening to my presentation.